I was going to cover how we get SVG files from other sources, like not just with Frosty, but with Kimberbell and any internet things out there. A lot of people say to me, "Okay, I got an SGV. I have an SVG file. Now what?"
And SVG is your standard vector format?
Standard vector. Hi, Lynn. Standard vector format. Yes. We had a show on vector.
Vector versus raster. I know it'll make.
We want.
It'll put Becky to sleep, but
vectors.
Yes, vectors.
We want vectors.
Anytime you're doing any sort of digitizing, you're gonna want a vector.
Right. Now, to me, I'm like, oh, well, all you do is da-da-da-da-da. But every time I do that da-da-da-da-da, somebody says,
"What did you do?"
I forgot how to do that. And with Frosty, we can do it right here for them.
Mm-hmm.
But what if this is something, if you have an electronic cutting machine, you want to take advantage of.
Yes. Now, isn't the as far as embroidery goes, can't the export directly to the scan and cut from your machine with the? Or am I not supposed to talk about that?
Only if you have a Luminaire 2 that's running.
All right.
Probably.
You can actually export your embroidery design from a Dream Machine on a thumb drive to plug into your scan and cut.
Yeah.
You can.
Because yes, you just have to swap one of the colors to a cut line
Yes.
versus a color.
And
then
you can do that on the
yeah.
Luminaire too,
Yeah.
but you have to
physically
put it on a stick.
A stick.
You have to save
Plug
it
it
on
in.
that stick.
Yeah.
You have to go over to the scan and cut, stick that in, up it by 2 notches because it will come out too small. So you have to go in and go make you.
That's what she said button moment right
I
there.
know, but this is a morning show. I've already used
You
it
gotta
three
mark it
times.
up 2 notches before you cut it on the scan and cut, and then yes, you can have your applique.
Yeah.
And you can do that with the Luminaire as well.
Yeah.
But the new machine
The seamless just blow it over there has to be a
has to be a Luminaire too, and it has to be the high end scan and cut, which now you're talking $1,000
Yeah.
plus. Yeah. So anyway, regardless, all electronic cutting machines have something in common. They have more than one thing in common.
But they all take SVG
They
files.
all take SVG files. They all will. And I'm talking right now about Silhouette, Cameo. Silhouette is Cameo.
You just confused me because I was like, isn't a Cameo
Yes,
Silhouette?
it
And you
is.
tell me there's a new one out there?
No, well, there is, but it doesn't
Is
matter.
it a
They
new
used to say-
Silhouette?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a Silhouette. I'm
Okay.
talking brand wise.
Okay. So most people in our craft are using a Cricut Maker or a Brother Scan and Cut or a Silhouette Cameo to do their cut files with. They all use mats. They all use blades. They all accept SVG files.
You don't necessarily need mats for the Cricut. I was experimenting with the free cut vinyl
well,
stuff.
With
For
the
fabric.
fabric.
For
you
fabric.
do.
Okay, yes, for fabric, yes.
I'm talking about fabric too. Let me narrow it down. I'm talking about fabric.
I'm just being a pain in your butt. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
And they all will cut bonded fabric, which I'm not talking bonded fabric. I'm talking about
I wasn't
heat
even
and
thinking
fabric.
about that. I mean,
Oh, well, I was.
I thought
That's what she
this
said.
is a morning show.
got to start the morning off right. Mm-hmm.
Some of us are morning people.
Afternoon delight.
Okay, so where was I?
They
They all
you're
take
talking about
SVG
being
file.
bonded.
Yeah, they all will cut material that has been bonded with a heat and bond light or a wonder under. Wonder what's under. Any of those things.
Underwear.
Under my material. They'll all do that. The cat's alive over here. Oh my gosh. So they all will do that. So if you're going to do the Frosty with us, you don't have to have a specific electronic machine, okay? But I'm going to demonstrate how to get the SVG files in using the Cricut software. That was the other point. They all have a piece of software. They all do. Silhouette has theirs called Silhouette. Brother has theirs called Canvas.
Yes, Brother Canvas.
Brother Canvas. And Cricut has theirs called Cricut Canvas. That was really ingenious. But they all have a piece of software that's going to allow us to get the SVG
Is
in.
there a third-party software yet for cutters like they've done with embroidery software?
There was at one point, and I'm trying to think of the name. Oh, Sure Does Cut a Lot.
Well, yeah, that's just bad marketing.
No, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a long name.
Sure Does Cut a Lot.
I mean, suredoescutalot.com. I mean, that
Or
doesn't flow off the tongue.
Sure Does Cut a Lot. He came out back before Cricut was letting you use your own files, and that was a workaround to getting stuff to work. But he's sort of like taking a back seat now. Truthfully, the best one out there, hands down, is Silhouettes Business Edition.
Business edition.
Yes, the free version.
Getting out of business.
No, I'm serious though. If you, I'll go in and do stuff in Silhouette, even though I'm cutting it on the Cricut, because Silhouette's got more features. But now I'm going all over the
Okay,
place.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't want to go. This is supposed to be a simple. I have an SVG file. I've downloaded it, or it came on my Kimber LCD, or some of your favorite embroidery places now, like Juju's.
Mm-hmm.
They're all including the SVG. Not all. Many of them are including the SVG files for our cutters. The question is, what do you do with them? How do I use them? So I thought I'd show you how to use them. You care, don't you?
Yeah,
I'm
curious
gonna use-
I want to see how it's done because then once I know how to do an SVG file, I can go find SVG files on the interwebs and make all
Oh,
sorts.
yeah. And I'm going to do it showing the Frosty thing, so we also teach you a little bit of something about Frosty.
Yeah.
One of the things every good SVG provider is going to tell you is what the size should be when you get it in your software. Because every person's software, Silhouette, Brother, Cricut, does something different.
And that's the difference between raster versus SVGs. SVG does not have a set size. SVG, the vector file format, allows it to resize to anything you want it.
Right.
So that would be why it's so that's good that they're going to tell you what size it's supposed to be because
Well, and the beauty of that, too, is that you can resize it if you want to.
yes.
You know, but if you're doing something like the Frosty block, and we've handed you, if you want them, we've handed you the digitized file, then your cut files have got to match those embroidery files exactly, or it's going to not look well when it's done. And you're getting it purr. So anyway, can you switch to my computer? There we go.
Look at that. They don't have to look at me anymore.
Oh, were you sad they were looking at you?
No, I just feel bad for them is all.
Okay. So I, right now, am inside of, let me see if I need glasses, people. I need glasses, people. Okay. I am inside the Cricut workspace right now, okay? I don't care which workspace you're using, meaning Brother or Silhouette or Cricut, the procedure is the same. The wording on the buttons is a little different, but bringing it in and using it is the same.
The top right looks like a poop emoji.
That's the that's the whipped cream. It's the whipped cream on top of the
Whatever.
chimney.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Well, you know what? You can cut it out of brown if you want, but I'm cutting mine out of white, and white doesn't show on the screen, and that's why I made it pink. Just so you know. Okay, how did I get them here, though? Right? That's
yes.
what I'm
How did we
trying to
get
show
there?
you.
Yes. So this is the finished product, what it would look like when we're ready to cut.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
So
I'm
now
going to show you how I got it.
we're gonna do like one of those movies where we start at the end and work from the beginning as some sort of narrative style.
I guess so. I'm going to hit new. I'm going to replace what I got because I don't care. So I have a nice big blank page, right?
Yes,
I
that's
always want to start with a nice big blank page.
that's what it looks like when I start.
Okay, good. The first thing I need to do is I need to upload my SVG files, or another software import my SVG files. This little button right here allows me to go out and get them. It allows me to upload more than just SVG files, obviously. But we're going to upload an SVG file. And I know to hit this button because see what it says right here? SVG.
Oh, that has all sorts of fun formats.
Oh, it does. It does. It can take all sorts of things in. Oh, my battery's running out. Oh no, Ed.
And DXF is another vector file format. So if you're looking for vectors,
It is. It's usually associated with CAD systems.
Yes.
But you can use those as well. But we're providing you with SVGs. Can somebody plug me in somewhere before I die? I don't know why I'm low, but I am. I should have plugged it in earlier. I'm gonna die. So anyway, all we did was we came in, had a blank screen. I chose upload. Now, what you're seeing on my screen down here is recent things. Isn't that the cutest little thing? These are recent things that I uploaded, and that's why they're showing up.
And a quick question, just because I'm staring at this, and I know this is completely unrelated, so I'm going to confuse everybody. But the pattern fill.
Yes.
How does that work in the cut world? Is that for like pen drawings, or are you actually going to cut out the
Print
center?
and cuts.
Print and cuts.
Print and cuts.
Okay.
Because when we do a print and cut, and they all can do that, it actually will print the thing first and makes registration lines so that when you put it back on your mat, it prints it out exactly.
Okay.
So pattern fill becomes important then because you're going to print something
And I don't know if
first.
anybody's noticing this, but the formats for pattern fill are only raster type formats.
They are.
Because they, which would make sense because that would be a sized limited formats.
Yes.
So the size are built in.
We have a question from the audience.
Yes.
No, it's more of a statement.
Okay.
Please don't
Excuse
talk
me.
about
It's
vectors. We're already half asleep. We really.
Okay, I'm just.
Oh!
That's fine. I'm just. For those that are interested in such interesting techie nonsense, I'm trying to appeal to a broader audience.
She just wants to know how to get the darn file in.
Yes.
I'm tired.
She doesn't want to care about anything else, apparently.
That's fine.
All
Okay,
right.
get to it.
Okay.
We're running out of time.
All
Get to
right.
it. Come on.
So, all right. See this upload image? I know this is what I'm going to use because I just found SVG right here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I need to upload it, right? It's confusing to people because it says upload image. That's what messes people up. Just believe me. SVG, upload it.
Yes.
That's what I want you to do. Now I can find my file and drag it right here and up it comes, but I usually don't. I go to browse. Now remember I saved it somewhere on my hard drive, and if you were in my computer class, you know exactly where you should have saved it. In documents. In a file called Frosty Goes to Town. Okay? So I know that's where I'm
Does
going to
anybody
look.
use the drag and drop thing?
I do, because I have a Mac.
I
Yeah,
have
but
that
they-
too.
Yeah, but they do it on the window. I've never. Of course, I'm old school. I just.
Yeah,
I
I do
just
not
don't
do
think it's
that.
going to work right, so I never do it.
It does work right, but now and then I gotta have multiple windows, and I like to work in full
Yeah, I
screen when
gotcha.
I'm doing this, so I don't do drag and drop. If I can't find it, I guess I could. But anyway, what I have done is saved you by color SVG files. So we have the brown SVG, we have the light green SVG, we have the dark green SVG, we have the yellow SVG. All the colors in the block.
And I bet the poop emoji's not going to be in the brown one, is it?
No, it's,
No.
it's in the white one because it's not. It's whipped cream. People, it's whipped cream. All I got to do is open it. Click on it, open it, and then this is hard to see because it's light colored, but you'll have to trust me. It's in there, and all I got to do is say is upload. It's that easy.
And that just puts it right in there and away
And
you
then
go?
you'll see it. It's right here. Now I can click on, like if I wanted to combine all the colors,
Yeah,
I could.
you could upload them all there. And then
Yeah, but I don't want to. So I'm like, oh, this is the one I want. Now watch what happens when I add it to my canvas, which I don't like that either. It comes in as a block of blue. Now I'm going to tell you in the general instructions that every time you bring one of these in, the width is going to be 11 inches. Every time you bring in an SVG from us,
You're going to make it 11 inches.
it's going to be 11 inches, and that's how I know you're going to get the right size.
11 is prime. Did you know that?
That's why I picked it.
Nice.
Oh, I picked it because it looked like chicken legs. No, there's another reason I picked it. But so Make sure your padlock is on, and nobody's going to this is supposed to be like something we could keep as a class.
Yeah.
So every time someone wanted to know how to do this, they would know how to do it. We've ruined it.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure
So
that
we get
padlock
like
is
secret
on.
knowledge right now.
See that little padlock? That means if I change the width, the height changes automatically. That's important. All I'm going to do is go to my width, no matter what Frosty SVG file you bring in. You change this to 11, enter it.
And now your
I
blue square is
guarantee
bigger.
you everything in there is the right size, but it's hidden by that blue square. And all you got to do is come over to your little eyeball, or in the other machines you can also delete it. But I'm just gonna turn off my blue square. Whoops, I turned I turned everything off. I just want to turn off my blue square. Ta-da!
So, just out of curiosity, from a technical standpoint, why is the blue square? Did that come in because it sees that as another cut?
I purposely outline everything with that 11-inch wide square, so I know you're getting the correct size.
So you won't necessarily always have that square on an SVG file.
Good providers will provide you with a square
and they'll
and
tell you
the
how
size.
big, and they'll tell you how big to make it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But if
Kimberbell does, Juju, Sarah Velder.
But if you're just grabbing a random SVG off the interwebs, it won't have a square.
Probably not.
Okay.
And then you can make it any size you
Yes.
want. But in the machine embroidery world,
It's got to match.
it's got to match.
Yep.
So the best, it used to be when people first started doing this, you had to read. Well, Kimberbell still does this, and I wish they'd get out of it. You have to pull out their paper and go, oh, that needs to be 6 inches, that color. This color needs to be 5 inches. This color needs to be 7 inches. I'm like, just make the squares all the same size. And so we don't have to remember more than one thing. So that's what we did.
That makes sense.
We
Okay.
picked 11 because some machines can't cut all the way to the 12
So,
inch.
yeah, 11 makes sense. Yep.
And some mats are longer,
Yeah.
but by worrying only about the width, I automatically give you the height.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought so. It took me 2 weeks to figure that out.
I wouldn't even have thought of it. So good on you.
Yeah. So you would just go in and simply upload each file, and then literally, if I hit make
So when
it's going to show you what it looks like on my mat.
So
and
when you
then
turn
I
off
place my fabric.
when you turn off the view thing, that takes it out of the queue to bring it up on the.
As soon as I turn off the view thing, it says, "Look, you don't have
So
to cut me. You don't have to do anything."
If you can't
However
see it, it
picture.
doesn't want to cut it.
Correct.
So you could.
And you can delete it.
Yeah.
You can delete it. But what if you here's my thing. What if you accidentally do something to something?
So say
Well,
so.
actually, it wouldn't save you at that point anyway. So.
Just
But-
start from scratch. Re-upload.
A re-upload, no, re-insert it.
Yeah.
You only have to upload once, and then you can use it over. And once it's uploaded, it's there. You can use it again and again and again and again and again and again. Like if you make a mistake and you go, "Oh, Becky, I cut my big snowflake had a catastrophe. I need to recut just my snowflake." I can even go on these little guys and go hide.
Wow.
Now, why are you showing us this?
and now I
Is
can-
this what you're providing for the class?
Now I can cut a snowflake.
So these will be the.
Yeah,
so-
you're gonna get SVG files.
I know, but they don't. So.
Oh, is that like when they do the commercials and
You
they
know
ask,
that, right, Carolyn?
like when you hear those weird radio commercials where they're asking stupid questions and you're like, and they answer it and somehow that's an ad.
Yeah. No, if you want, you can get the SVG files and you can get the PES files.
Yes,
And I would have brought the sample, but it's half in a hoop, and
I understand.
I didn't want it ruin the last piece of gray fabric I've pieced together.
We'll have some more.
But
Fingers
anyway,
crossed.
so that's how you bring in SVG files
Well, that was exciting.
and use them, because hopefully we shall.
I'm hoping.
We shall. And
well,
you
I'm
know what
hoping
else I learned
we-
about Frosty?
What?
I got it down to 4 hoops. For those of you who have a 9.5 by 14, which I think is the majority,
Most people have the Dream Machine, yeah.
or
Luminaire.
or
Estelle Air.
What does Karen have?
Destiny?
No, she has a Dream Creator.
What's her
Dreamer,
largest hoop?
8x12.
I don't think she's doing the frosty.
Okay,
though.
well, it's not that I can't make an 8x12, but I'm like, oh, who wants to make this? if
I
you
think,
only have
and
an
also
8x12?
for those that have lost the that haven't seen previous, when we talk about Frosty, look at the picture. It looks like it's a little like wall hanging.
Right.
The blocks are like the size of a fat quarter.
And
Like,
I actually need them larger. For
yeah,
reasons.
so but I'm talking the finished block is almost the size
Yeah.
of a fat quarter, so it is a fairly good size quilt.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
if you like to do handwork, it's big enough that it won't be a pain in the butt to do it by hand.
Right, but you know, and I was going to cover this next week, is
Oh, spoiler alert!
no, well, not everybody wants a digitized file. Some people want to applicate it themselves, either with their machine or by hand. And the neat thing with the SVG files is even if you want to hand applicate it or needle turn it before you put it on the machine, you take your SVG files, you add an offset to them, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got your needle turn applique. Or even better, you use a print and piece product. Cut your shapes.
Which I have no idea what that means, but it sounds awesome.
You cut the shapes on the print and piece product that's right on your. I'm pointing to
A machine.
what are those?
That's good.
Electronic cutter.
Yes.
You can cut out your applique templates, if you will, with your SVG files.
Nice.
Think about that. And then you can cut out your appliques with an offset of shyer than a 1/4 inch. Put your template, print and piece is sticky. Put it on your applique piece. Turn it over, but you leave it in because it comes out in the wash. Bada bing, bada boom.
Wow.
Wow, you just step everything up.
That's hand turn applique.
That was for next week, or machine, but it's needle turn. Is what they call it. It has it
Yeah.
so because this is raw edge.
Yeah, right.
But
to
if you want
to do needle
it
turn.
turned under, we got your back.
Nice. Okay, so something to look forward
That's
to.
just the beauty of SVG files.
And hopefully we'll have the background in so she won't tell me that we're not having the class yet.
Oh, we'll
because-
just make a different background.
Yeah, it might come to that. Anyway, thank you all for joining us for the
Oh,
for
we
another
done?
episode
Oh,
of
we're way done.
for Shenanigans.
Is that really what time it is?
What? Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
all right.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good. See, I have this this outro all planned on going to be like all sophisticated and then sidetracked. But anyway, thanks for joining us.
STD.
We've really-
No. Just for the record, Gene, that stands
Sorry,
standard.
we're reading
standard.
we're reading the comments right now, and the conversation about SVGs. We have STD, so I can just see that. Yes,
That means standard.
upload your venereal disease to your cutting machine.
Cut
Goes
files.
the morning
Anyway.
show.
A lot of people call them cut
Thank you for-
files.
thank-
Cut files.
Thank you for watching. Join us again next week. Hopefully, we'll be a little more organized. I'll be a little more organized. Becky is always organized. But
No,
remember,
not always.
sew on and be excellent.
Danny's giving me the I'm disappointed.